Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey. Still rocking out with my watermelon fingernails. They're so fun. I don't know what color I'm going to do this week, but hopefully something cool. Strike me out of my little collection. So from one hexagon cardigan to another, they are such different sizes. I'm even going to grab the other one because it's still right beside me, so you can see the difference. The fine weight is going to take a lot longer than the floor weight, simply because the stitching is so much smaller. But I mean, they're both gorgeous, such pretty colors. So when you're picking out a fine weight, sorry about the plastic, just know it's gonna take a while because it's so fine and delicate. It is. It's delicate stitching. Look how small my stitches are. Using my 3.5. This very fine. This is very fine weight. That's what it says on the label. Very fine weight, not just fine weight. And my stitching is going to be so small because the thread is so thin. I get the same motion. We can whip through this quite quickly. However, it's going to take a lot longer to get through this sweater than it is through another one, just because of the weight, the fine weight, the weight of our materials. Wow, I feel like I'm just making up words as we go along. Yay! Brain farts. Sorry, my bad. My brain's just on tired. Today is just a very tiring day. And perfect. And even better. Alrighty. So let's do some crochet today and hang out. Sounds like a plan. My goodness. I'm still kind of kicking myself for having, what are those called? Oh, yeah, safe place for my stuff and can't find things. And then I finally find it and I feel a lot better now that I found it because I wanted to work on my projects today as an excuse of why I'm not cleaning the house. Haha. I think that's fair, right? No, probably not. Anyway, we are getting a little more of this done so it's not tangled anymore. It is a ball because I just did not get around to, oh, turning it into a cake because I'm kind of concerned that if I try to do that and it's attached to this bit, it's going to be a problem. So I am going to be stuck with a ball for a little bit. And I'll just be like living my childhood of having yarn balls. I've always helped my grandmother when she needed help with making yarn balls. She'd hand me a whole bunch and go for it. And so I just make yarn balls very, very easily. Second nature, like I'll be watching something on TV and not even realize that I've done a whole ball. And it's like, oh, yeah, I was doing that, right? Can't go wrong with that. Oh my goodness, I love the sparkle in this yarn. Every time I look at it, I am just quite enamored with this one. It's going to be a very nice one to throw on over whatever on a cool evening during the spring and summer on the way home. Maybe even just wear it around the house, feeling all like imperial. Yeah, this one would definitely make me feel imperial. All the shinies. And I'm thinking about edging it in maybe a 4-weight white, so I can just go in the spaces, do it there, tap, maybe do a couple chains. We're gonna see how I feel about things when I get closer to having it the size I want, but I am kicking around a few ideas on stylizing, as well as looking at making a 70s inspired, from the 1970s, I mean, wrap dress. My thing about it is that you gotta have sort of a triangle in the front for it to fold over. Like I know you can do both sides. Yeah, it's both sides. So you need a bit of a triangle shape there, and that's where I'm a little bit, but I know I can figure it out. Figure out something. I just need to know the exact shapes I need for the top, but I believe it is just a triangle across and a triangle across. So I have some ideas on how to get there and still have it look really cool. So yeah, because the yarn I have in mind is my black one with the shiny filaments through it. So I think that is going to be a very, very pretty one. So I definitely want to go down that way. I have 6 of them and I think they're about 900 each. But the way those dresses are structured, I think what I have is going to just make it. Especially if I want long billowy sleeves on it. I am thinking about doing the collar part because they usually have a very large collar on them, which I have worn a dress very similar to that and it really complemented my body shape. And I've been looking for something like that ever since because it was somebody else's dress and I borrowed it. And I guess I'm at a point where I can't find something like that, so I'm just going to make something out of material that I deem absolutely stunning. And that's what I'm going to go with. I do have slips and stuff like that, and we can always find like proper undergarments for it, but finding the actual structured dress, having all the pieces already there is not happening. So I'm looking at it and thinking, I'm going to have to come up with something. And I'm debating about how sheer it's going to be. I may decide to do some very loose areas where it's not tight stitching. I don't know. I don't know. But I might just decide to like even just knit it. Who knows? Maybe knitting might be a better one because I mean, knitting uses less of your materials with a tighter weave. So I'm looking at that. So if I made it more of a like material, but then I'm worried about how I would join it. Like this is what goes through my head while I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Because in this one in particular, oh no, not again. Oh, we gotta go back. Darn it. Anyway, this one in particular, I am gonna have to design it to be what I want it to be. And yeah, I can find sewing ones, and I found some similar ones, but they were made with granny squares, and I don't want to do granny squares. I feel that will bulk it up too much, and I need this one to be very light and airy. How do you miss one stitch, girl? Girl, that pile's getting bigger. Ah. So now I'm gonna have to go all the way through this one again. It is what it is. I don't even bother getting mad because I did it to myself. So who am I gonna get mad at? Myself? I don't have time to do that on my day off. Don't get mad at yourself. Love yourself. Love your flaws. And embrace all your goods and bads. If you don't, you're just gonna be super miserable like the rest of them, and I don't want to live like that. I'm so tired of everyone being so miserable. And I understand why people are miserable. I'm choosing to try to find something good and hang on to it with all my might. Because, yeah, it's just trying. Oh, let's see. Now that is a mess. We're gonna, I'm not sure why that would have pulled out like that, but it probably has something to do with that great big tangle I had. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I should probably put that on there and then go through it. And then we're gonna go around here and we're just gonna go. So that way it's kind of buried into the next few stitches because the filament was loose and all over, so that's probably why I had the tangle in the middle. Okay. Got a nice little paper clip, paper cut from putting out brushes of all things. One of the boxes it was in cut my finger just in the right spot. So my fingers were pretty dry at the time. I was like, oh, that's great. At least it doesn't hurt anymore, so that's good. It's healing up nicely. Oh my gosh. So last week, biggest, weirdest, I'm so unhappy with myself for this one. Last weekend, before the weekend, I put in a hoop in my nose ring. And I'm not made for hoops, apparently, because I got stuck. I could not get it out for 5 days. This turned into a whole thing. My nose started, oh gosh, how do I put it without being too gross? It pulled so tight my nose started swelling because it was so uncomfortable. I think there was a lot of nickel in this one because stainless steel usually does have nickel, and I do react to nickel quite often. So my nose started to swell, and I can't get this thing to unlatch because it latches. It has a little spot that opens so you can take it in and out for easiness. And yeah, mine wouldn't unlatch, would not unlatch at all. And I tried everything. I tried pulling on it. I tried putting dental floss through so I could just tug it a few times, and that did nothing, nothing, nothing. So we finally got to a point where, because my nose was swelling up so much and the ring was not moving, it started pulling into my nostril, like around the outside of my nostril, and actually my skin was here and it was pulling into my skin. So my skin was starting to tear and then grow around the ring. So my nose was trying to make the ring part of me. So we tried to cut it out with bolt cutters and wire cutters, and we broke a pair of wire cutters on the silly thing. I had a massive panic attack because the thing coming at my face was scaring me. Great big clippers coming right at your eye, kind of thing. And whew, so I finally get the nerve to let my husband, get the thing on the ring to cut it. So he has to use two hands. He goes to use two hands and he puts all the force on it, and the handle breaks on the thing. I thought it was the actual hoop. He did too at first. Then he realized that the cutters broke. So I cried. I went and go try to eat some dinner. Couldn't eat dinner. I was panicking. How am I going to get this thing out? It's growing. My nose is growing around it. And I don't want heavy scarring on my nostril. I mean, I've never done anything this silly after 25 years of having this piercing. 25. And this is what's happening. Just because I thought it'd be cute to wear a ring, because I saw a few other people around me wearing rings, and I was like, oh, that's a cute look. I should try that. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. I'm never putting a hoop back in my nose. Unless it's one of those really, 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 really big ones. So a little later, I'm keeping it clean with saline, and I'm making sure it isn't crusting over and getting stuck. I know it sounds so gross. I'm so sorry if you're squeamish. So I go and I turn it a little bit, and all of a sudden, it's not in that groove. It's not in the groove, and I was like, oh, maybe my nose is feeling a lot better. Maybe the swelling's coming down, and it's just not going to scar there. That would be fantastic. So I shift the ring over, and it's still feeling pretty loose. I'm like, wow, this is getting kind of crazy. If it fits like this, I can probably deal with this for a little bit longer until we can figure out some stronger um, wire cutters because I was just worried it was going to get stuck overnight and be like inside my skin would grow around it, and I was really worried about that. I don't want to have to, that would hurt. So I get up from sitting on my bed feeling all upset, and I go look in the mirror and realize the thing has popped open on its own. After all that fighting, it just randomly, out of nowhere, when I turned it the right way, I guess, it was like, yeah, I'm going to open. Your nose is free. So my nose has been healing all week. It's healing up very nicely. It doesn't hurt. The bit in the front is done. The scab's gone. It's all cleared up. I kept everything so clean. Yeah. So note to self, I'm not a hoop girl. I do not wear hoops in my nose ring ever, 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 ever again. So yeah, that is my fun story for the week. But it's healed up very nicely. I can take my nose ring in and out like I should. Nothing's tender. Everything's healed all the way that it's supposed to. So I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very grateful that I got it out for free again. Oh, but yeah, that was very, very, very stressful. It caused me a lot of anxiety throughout this week because I just was really, really worried that I had set myself down a terrible path and would have maybe possibly have lost my nose ring. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like a lot to anybody else, but I've had my nose ring a long, long time. It definitely feels like part of who I am. So to have anything go wrong with it is kind of a scary one. Like it's under my skin, so to speak. Mm, I may have to do more than one video of getting back to where I was because that is a long pile and I prefer to have it in the project, not on the side of my bed. Usually is a good idea. So hopefully I didn't go too far off the screen, and hopefully my nose story wasn't too gross. And well, yeah, I just wanted to be cute. I thought it was a cute look, but it's not my cute look, so that's fine. You live and you learn. This week I got myself some deep conditioners for my hair because my hair's feeling kind of weird, and some hair cutting scissors so I can give myself a little trim. Anyways, thanks for joining me here today at All the Crackers in the Box, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.